Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. It means it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, July 12th, 2021. It's been so long since I've seen you guys. Good to see you guys again. I got another different setup here, trying something new, trying to still keep it low key in terms of like the video setup, but get something a little bit better than like me tapping my phone all the time. So right now, if it looks a little different, I'm testing out new software. That's what this watermark is down here too, by the way. I'm using like a trial version of some software. We'll see how it goes. Right now, it seems to be like anytime I move my face into the sunlight, it looks like my forehead's glowing. So I have to kind of move over to the side a little bit. So if you see me like leaning, that's what's going on. So I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I basically got my iPhone like tethered to my laptop so that way I can kind of see everything better and interact with things better. So we'll see how it goes. I think if I, go to the paid version, I get full screen, which is why like the aspect ratio is not great today and the video quality isn't as good, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe this will work. All right, we're back on a Monday, so it's Monday mukbang time. And we already had some of these cookies last time just because I was so eager to eat the cookies, but my mother-in-law's oatmeal cookies. But I've also today got a couple of her special sugar cookies, which these are real hard to see with the way that this camera's pick up the light. Oh, it's just too bright. They're just glowing cookies. So basically they are sugar cookies, but when she makes them, she rolls them up into a ball, dips them in water, and then dips them in sugar, and then flattens them out with a fork. So they're like extra sugary sugar cookies. So that's what we're going for the mukbang today. I've got some afternoon coffee here with me as well, so I'll be enjoying that. Hopefully you guys are having a good day too. Everyone listening on the audio only version on the podcast, hopefully you guys are doing well. I know there haven't been as many podcast live streams lately, so I apologize for that. I have a couple of other like podcasts that I'm going to be on, I think, soon. People have been inquiring about that. So hopefully there'll be other content with my voice putting you to sleep or helping you to get through a long run that you'll be able to listen to. I was on, I don't know if it's out, I haven't checked to see if it's out yet. Most recently, well, it was actually, the timing was a little bit weird. I talked with Aaron at Temple Talks and um, and Ryan Miller, and so that should be coming out today, I think, if it hasn't already come out today. So hopefully that's there, so you can hear me there as well. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, welcome to you guys too. It's good to see you guys as well. All right, let's see who we got here. Sarah's here says, "Love the Believe in the Run footage. Can anyone drop by that office and purchase a T-shirt, for example? No current plans for me to go to Baltimore, but just in case I'm ever there." I'm not sure. That's a really good question. Because when I was there on that rack, there was like prices on stuff, but like I don't know that they're going to be like set up for like. Yeah, I'm not. I'm actually not sure. So really great question. I will get you an answer. But I could totally see it being like some place that people stop by. I mean, I was talking to Thomas, and he says that like every year they do a lot of stuff with the Baltimore. I think they call it the Running Festival. It's an entire like weekend of different race distances. So I could easily see that being like a social gathering place. It's close to the waterfront, so lots of good running in the area, and so like I could see it. I could see it, but I actually never asked. So that's a good question. All right, we got Bert Legas here, Robert Hodge, Frank Lahuler is here as well. Good to see you guys. David Prabhu says, "Good day, Cofam. Independence holiday here in the Bahamas, so we can make the stream." Awesome. Well, happy Independence Day to you in the Bahamas. That sounds really nice and pleasant. It's been a little bit chilly here in the Midwest. I just got back last night. I got back to Chicago, but I got back late. So I just did some laundry and then kind of like unpacked, repacked, and we're back here in Iowa today. But it's been like chilly and like kind of raining all weekend apparently. So it's the middle of July, so I'm like, I kind of want it to be hot. So, and I'm guessing it probably is down there. All right, Martha's here as well. Good to see you, Martha. And we got Vincent Benair says hello, co-fam. And Vince said lots of people here early. Yeah, awesome. That's so cool. Good to see you guys. And it says, I was thinking about you, Ennis. He says, Kofuzi and everybody's still isolating, still testing negative, thankfully, and thank goodness for Zwift. Well, that's good. That's good. The best that you can hope for a period of isolation is that is a little bit boring, right? That's like the best possible thing. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. And Martha says, I'm concerned about my long runs now because the air quality is borderline thanks to fires on the West Coast. We're getting their smoke. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Yeah, I was thinking about some of those fires too, and I was just like, at what point are like, will events start getting canceled? Will that impact some of these other like endurance races that we're accustomed to seeing in the summertime? So yeah, hopefully that gets under control. All right. Steve says, evening, everyone. Missed you guys. It was meant to be a rest day, but No Blast 2 arrived. What a brilliant shoe. They fixed every single issue with the V1 Best Daily 2021. Yeah, I enjoyed very much. I ended up putting like 30 miles in mine over the weekend, plus another 3 because Thomas was able to get me a black pair from ASICS. So he gave that to me as a gift for stopping by. And I felt bad because I was like, I know I came to your place. I should have brought you a housewarming gift. But so I felt bad, but he gave me a gift. So I had 3 miles in, a black pair of Nova Blast 2s over the weekend, and then another 30 over the weekend, just other running. It was just kind of like a running buffet kind of thing. And I was just like, I'm going to go for it. And I feel great. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to try and take it easy. I haven't gone for a run yet today, but we'll see if I go for a little bit, maybe not, maybe less than 10, but get out there for a little bit, take it a little easy because it was a big weekend. But I was amazed at how great, well, I wasn't that amazed. I felt great in the Nova Blast 2 all weekend. It was really nice. I'm glad you enjoy yours, Steve. All right, I'm going to dive into one of these sugar cookies. When she does like the extra sugar on top, it ends up tasting a lot like, you know, those aluminum tins that have the cookies. Some of them look like regular shortbread cookies, and some of them look like pretzel shapes and all those other shapes. And there's that sugar on top. The sugar gets kind of like cracked and like caramelized, caramel candied on top, and it's really nice. Man, that's a good cookie. I think this is good running fuel. Sugar, fat, salt, all in one cookie. All right, I saw something from Sue in here. Where'd it go? Oh, sorry, I missed it. Oh, there we go. No, she's just saying hi to everybody, I think. Well, it's good to see you, Sue. But yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so far behind on these chats. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom so I can catch up to you guys. Adam Pierce talking about the air quality too. Says he's running in smokes as smog. It's like running at altitude, right? He says I have both now in Colorado. Whew. Vincent wants to know what was the blurred shoe. Any hints? I can't really give you hints because I'm under embargo too on it. As are they believe in the run. But I think the embargo lifts tomorrow. That was the frustrating thing about like going through and like blurring all those shoes. Like I think I can talk about them tomorrow in the afternoon. Oh, that reminds me. Tomorrow's live stream. We're gonna go. I'm gonna have to move it to 2 o'clock, so an hour later, because I have to be at a thing. I know it's a virtual thing, but it's a thing that I'm going to about those blurred shoes at 1 o'clock at the live stream time. You know, I couldn't get the brand to reschedule their giant like kind of press release thing. Some athletes will be there and stuff, so I guess we have to cater to their schedule. So the live stream tomorrow will be an hour later. I'll be sure to post like a thing tomorrow so you guys remember. But yeah, I think after that though, after that event, I'll be able to talk about the blurred shoe. So I should. They were sending me some. They didn't arrive yet though, but deliveries usually take a little bit longer out here. So hopefully I'll have them by tomorrow. Maybe I can show them to you guys. But yeah, but I'm pretty excited about them, I gotta say. All right, Vinod Kumar says, hi, should we take MAP training daily? Yeah, I mean, if you want to do MAP, the way that I like to think about MAP is I'd like to think of it as, I think of it as like a runner detox, even though I don't like detoxes or cleanses or anything like that. I think it's like they don't really make sense to me, but I like to think of it as a runner reset. And so if you can dedicate a period of time to running math or just low heart rate for a while, I think that's probably the most prudent way to approach it. I think it really impedes your initial body's adaptation to it if you are bouncing back and forth and not doing it like all at once, if that makes any sense. So I would say if you like figure out a time in your calendar where it really works out that you can devote 2 to 3 months of just easy running. That's what I would recommend. Definitely says I love sugar cookies an hour before my tempo runs. They're good. Yeah, I like all cookies about an hour before. I mean, I like cookies. A lot of times I will have cookies as I'm like clicking my watch, I'll still be chewing on a cookie. Because especially if I'm running from back here, like let's say I'm driving to the Heritage Trail, and usually when I'm here, there's some homemade cookies. I'll grab a handful, eat like 2 or 3 on the way driving to the trail, and then like I'll still have like one left, and I'll just be eating it as I start to run. I always start my first mile pretty easy anyway, maybe the first 2 miles. So they sit well enough in my stomach that I feel like I could do that. Yeah. Ian Lowe says, "Hey, Kofuzi, any plans to review the Scottspeed Carbon RC?" I'm not familiar with that shoe, so I do not have any plans to review it. So I'm not sure what that one is. All right, I'm falling behind again, guys. All right, let's see. Adam Pierce says, "Old Man Runner did a Sky Edge comparison, and someone compared them to Alpha Fly and Vaporfly, one for full, while the one other for half and shorter." Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna. I was really excited about the Edge, but I was talking to Thomas about the shoe yesterday on our run, and he was like, "It's a much firmer shoe." He said he's not going to review it. Ben Johnson has it, and I don't know if he's going to rewriting a review for it or not. But Thomas was saying his understanding is that it's more for like one is kind of the Edge is very specific for the Japanese market and some of their specific preferences. And he's like, it's going to be a lot firmer than most of us like. And I was like, okay, enough said. There's a lot. I mean, if ASICS wants to send a pair to me, I'll certainly try it out. I'm very interested, but probably not based on that one that I'll go out and get. And so to me, maybe the Alpha Fly, Vaporfly, like full versus half, maybe is not correct. I do think that there is some difference on like not just preferences, but I think like what running gait works well for you. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily that stride versus cadence distinction, but I think it's going to work one well for a certain type of runner versus another. Oh, that's my phone. Sorry about that. Emma says, "Hi, Emma." Says, "Hi, all. It's been way too long. Been busy over here. Bought a house, and then all other free time has been filled with marathon training." Well, that's a good summer. That's a really great way to spend the summer. New house and new race to train for. Very cool. Well, congratulations on the new house. It's amazing. And Kyle Patton wants to know, Kofuzi and fellow runners, do you adjust your pace in hilly areas at all, or do you try to keep as close to the number, or do you let the variation take over? These days, I don't typically train by pace unless I'm on a track. That's kind of the only time that I really care. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the curtains here. That's the only time I really care about. Yeah, the lighting is driving me crazy. Maybe. Yeah, so pace I only really care about as a training tool on the track. Otherwise, I look at either heart rate or my power number. So if I don't have either of those available to me, or depending on what the workout is, then pace is something that I would look at. But if it was very hilly, then I would adjust. But I wouldn't be so meticulous as to think like, all right, well, this hill is 300 meters long at 6% grade, so the pace should be adjusted by X amount. I wouldn't think of it that way. I would say try to get a feel for what the effort level is supposed to be when you're flat, and mimic that and strive for that when you're doing a repetition that's on a hill. or if you have like 2 miles that are quicker and then a mile recovery, whatever that quicker pace is, try and get a feel for what that is and repeat that if you don't have power or heart rate to go off of. But I do think that that's a situation where power can be really helpful. Mm. Ricky McLean says, you are traveling to Hard Rock. Yes, I don't have any plans to go to Hard Rock. Um, I'm not sure that I would be able to, like, I felt fit enough to chase people around at Western States. I don't know that I could do that at Hard Rock. And I don't remember I don't remember what the dates are, but for some reason I was like, oh, those dates don't work for me. So I'd have to double check on the dates, but I don't know. I won't say no, but it's not something that for some reason I'd kind of already like closed that door for myself. Going back to some of the air quality, PJR says it's been pretty dry here in the Bay Area this year. Hoping for no smoke around during my half. Yeah, around or during my half. Yeah. I was listening to something on the news. I was listening to like there's satellite radio in the car, which is good and bad. It's good for like long road trips. Um, and that's what today was because I drove back from Chicago this morning. And they were talking about how dry it's been for an extended period of time and how dry already within this season. So like on a micro and on a macro level, it's just been really, really dry. So, I mean, it's already been a pretty rough summer for the West Coast. Hopefully there's some relief in the second half of the summer. Adam says Hard Rock is this weekend. Paces are a lot slower at Hard Rock than at Western States. Yeah, I mean with the elevation changes for sure. Oh yeah, so this weekend I was supposed to go up to Wisconsin. That's why I was like, I already had that planned out. But that trip actually has gotten canceled. Um, it is unfortunately, it is a COVID isolation situation, so we had to cancel that trip. So, um, yeah, so I will be here. I guess my weekend suddenly is available, but I was kind of like, oh, that'd be nice. It was like, oh, it'd be nice to have a weekend at home with the kids. I've traveled twice, and now already I'm like, oh, I'm tired of traveling. So I don't, yeah, I think that it's probably a lot to put together. I can't move that quickly, I think, and pivot. Mm. I think Martha says in 2019 she was worried in August about the air quality for the tunnel marathon, but it ended up being okay. Okay. Well, yeah, hopefully it just levels off a little bit. All right. PG. What's going on with PG? PG wants to know, can anyone recommend good sunglasses? I go with Gooder. I think everyone kind of goes with Gooder for running. Um, I like them because they're the right price and you can kind of beat them up. And I kind of like that. And I feel like with sunglasses, um, I like having multiple. I like for them to be a little bit more like the fun accessory. So I kind of like being able to just buy a whole bunch. I think I have two. I have three. I bought two and one I got as a gift from the Eugene Marathon. But yeah. Emma says, thanks, Co. Been loving the videos, and I felt the same about the flip belt. Yeah. Can't remember. Have you tried the Solomon belt? That's been my favorite with their bottle. I looked at that, but the Solomon bottle is a smaller bottle. It's about the size of the flip belt. So I guess that's not terrible because if I could tolerate the flip belt, but it falls out. And so, yeah, I was gonna go for a run with the flip belt again today because it's not perfect, but for easy runs, it does the job enough. I guess I can live with it. But I think there's two more that I really want to try. Um, After that, I'm like, I've done enough belts for a while. I'll wait again until maybe like next summer. But I'll definitely try the Solomon one because everyone seems to have that one, and I seem to see it frequently as a waist belt that's worn like below a vest. So I think people do like to have that water bottle in the back, and so it must be pretty useful there. Um, for the like longer, super long races. And then the naked belt just keeps coming up. I just don't like the way that naked belt say naked all over all their stuff. I just think that it's really weird. So like, I'm not a big fan of that. But I don't know. Walmsley said that his belt was a naked belt, but I couldn't see any branding on his. So I don't know if maybe he just turns it inside out and there's no branding on the inside. Maybe that's just the easy solution there, or what. But yeah, so I'll be trying two more, and then my waist pack, like, I guess Odyssey will be over for now anyway. No one wants to know if I'm gonna try the Dragonfly spikes. I don't have any plans to do that. I think it's more spike than I can handle. It'd be like if you gave me like a Ferrari to race around a race course. I guess I'd be able to go fast, but it's more than I need, and I don't really know what I'm doing with it. So yeah, I did bring the spikes back from Chicago because I'll be going to Ames for the steeplechase in 2 weeks. But yeah, so I'm gonna use those kind of entry level spikes and see how they do. I'm getting really nervous though about the spikes and the steeplechase though, because I'm like, should I just run in a pair of road shoes? Because like there's like running on the track, spikes make sense. Jumping over the regular obstacles, the spikes make sense. But then like when you have to stand on top of the barrier and then jump into the water pit, that makes me nervous. I'm like, is that like hard plastic spike plate on the bottom gonna slip on it? I just feel like it is. And then as I was thinking about that, then I saw like images. I don't know what track meet it was, but Emma Coburn just fell in the water pit. And I'm just like, if she's falling, anybody could fall for sure. So I'm getting nervous about the water pit. I think the first there's not going to be a chance for me to see a water pit before the meet. So the first time I go over that water pit, that'll be my first time ever encountering it. So we'll see what happens. Frank says, when are you getting a bike? Great question. I got to figure that out. I got to figure that out soon. I'm not that concerned about it until we get to August, which isn't that far away. So like, depending on how long it takes to procure a bike, I might be too late to get a bike by August or early August, which is my hope. So we'll have to see. We also don't know where we're going to be yet for August, just because we're hanging out at grandma's house. Are we in a rush to go back to Chicago, that kind of thing? So that also kind of like, I don't want to order a bike out here and then have to like drive from Chicago to get, I don't know. The things are, maybe I'm just overcomplicating it, I guess. And Carrie wants to have a bike review, please. I'll make a video about the bike, like I made a video about the Walmart bike, but I don't know that I'll review it because I don't have like the vocabulary or the experience to like review it, except to say like, I'm a newbie. I can give you my experience. So I don't know that'll be a review, but whatever I get, I'll let you guys know all about it. All right, let me scroll back down. Sorry, I got lost in a tangent. Yeah, Adam, it was the Monaco Diamond. That's right. She fell because she missed the top of the steeple. There's a pad at the bottom of the water. My first time over water will be like me in a race too. All right. Well, that's good to know that there's a pad in the water. I just thought it was more track material down there and then water. So that's good to know. That's good to know. And Jay's here says, how are you? How do you manage running in the summer over 80 degrees? It is worth it to try hard to make it. Is it worth it to try to make a PR? Yeah, I mean, when it's hotter, I just adjust fueling frequency. I go more towards liquids than I do gels. And then I adjust paces because it's another strain on your system when you've got that much heat. And so if it's a speed workouts aren't as affected by heat because, if you're like sprinting, like 400s and 200s, your body's going to like being a little bit hot. But I might consider trimming down the workout if it's going to be like in the hottest part of the day. If it's going to be a long run workout and it's going to be the middle of the day, then I might adjust the paces. We were talking about paces on hills earlier. I would do the same thing with paces in the heat. Keep in mind that it's taxing the body as well. The heat is, and so what's good enough to really put us, training stimulus on the body might not necessarily be as fast as if it were like 60 degrees and dry. All right. Frank says, time on bike is more important than time on feet, and not important as time in water. Yeah, I'm focusing really like the way I'm dividing it up is until the steeple, just because the steeple is almost exactly a month away from the triathlon. Until the steeple, I'm going to really focus on just water. I'll probably go for a bike, maybe 2 bike rides this week on the Walmart bike, but I'm trying to get into the pool as much as I can. And then once we hit August, then I'll worry about a little bit more about just getting saddle ready, I guess, getting my butt prepared for the time on the bike. That's my big concern. My primary concern is surviving the swim. Like I just don't want to get fished out of the water. Like that's like my big goal. Second goal is to like be somewhat comfortable coming off the bike. I'm feeling like, it'll be a way to kind of like recover a little bit. I'm sure that by the time I'm done with the swim, I'll be lightheaded and dizzy and nauseous just from all like the hyperventilating and drinking of lake water. So I feel like I'm going to feel pretty terrible. So I'm going to use the bike to kind of not rest, but recover from the swim. And then hopefully just, have a nice brisk run in with whatever I got left after that. But that first hurdle is going to be that swim. That's what's got me really scared. Sarah says, based on your Nike Peg Trail 2 experience, how many miles do you think they can go? I'm at 54 and know they have a lot of life left. Oh yeah, I think that they can go a really long time. I think with trail shoes, it always depends on what you're running on. I probably put more road miles on my trail shoes than most people do because of the way that I run, because I like to run to the trail. And so, I think that is a little bit less mileage than if you're running just trails. But then again, that it could also depend on what kind of trails you're running. I'm learning that there's a big difference between, say, there's an East Coast, West Coast beef. West Coast trails are very different than East Coast trails or like Colorado single track kind of stuff. And even what's out in like Arizona, the different terrains are very, very different. Which, in concept I understood, but I didn't realize that it was so like that other people saw the distinctions so greatly. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying about that. But I think that there's a lot of React foam. There's a lot of rubber tread. Some people don't like the tread on the Peg Trail 2. For what I run, it's great. So like I had no complaints. So I feel like it's a shoe that can last a very long time. I would say 275 easy is that's usually like when I start looking for a new shoe if I'm running it to the end of life. And then I think you could get over 300 on that one. All right, Andrew Bostic says, starting running YouTube thanks to you and Seth James. Awesome. Any tips? I would say there's usually 2 tips that I give. One is in the beginning, no one's watching, and that's a blessing. Because that's when you want to experiment, kind of figure out what your workflow is, figure out what you're doing, how you want to tell stories. Maybe you change the way you want to tell your stories and present whatever that it is that you're wanting to convey. And the best thing that is happening to you is that no one's watching. So it's not like, I think the worst thing that can happen to a channel is your second video pops and you get a lot of views, and then people come to the channel and it's like, oh, this guy's made this one and one other video. Okay. He's not really making videos. He just happened to go viral this time, right? So you don't want that. So the best thing you do is make a lot of videos and enjoy the blessing of not having anyone be watching in the beginning. The second thing I would say is find other people find a cohort. Find other people that are about your size. It doesn't necessarily even have to be in running. Maybe you're connected by geography or by age or by some other thing, but find a community of not people that are watching, not like the community that's like here, but in the beginning as a creator, find another community of creators, people that are struggling to hit the same subscriber benchmarks and trying to hit the same watch time benchmarks and are having the same problems as you and support each other. That's really important. So like, that's a big thing that I felt like Seth was in my cohort, kind of coming up. Jamie was felt like Jamie was a little bit ahead of us, you know, and so I don't know about Seth, but I was looking up at Jamie and trying to be like, all right, that's like the next level to kind of get to. And then after a while, I was like, okay, now I feel like we're all friends. And now we are all in the same cohort, and then we're all hanging out. And then, like, for example, like this weekend, I went over to Baltimore. I felt like all those people are my cohort right now. And so you find your cohort, you know, it's a really lame way of saying like find other creators and collab, but like that's the way that I think of it, is find like other people that are like you and then work together and build off each other. I mean, run as a pack. That's just the other way to think of it. All right. Scott says, any interest in the Roebuck Float Right Energy Adventure Trail shoe? I have a pair of those. They're not here though. I left them in Chicago. They sent me a pair. So I will be taking a look at them, just not in the next 2 weeks. That's probably the next time we'll head back. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks we'll be heading back to Chicago. So yeah. So Aaron says, you're not supposed to drink the lake water. Rookie mistake. I know you're not supposed to, but I'm going to end up drinking a lot of it. I feel like I definitely think I'm going to be drinking a lot of it. Yeah, Martha says, Kofuzi, splashing into a water pit at the steeple would feel natural to you with all the puddle experience. I feel like that is going to be a weird strength. I mean, I don't feel like a lot of people are like, you know, you never hear an interview of like, so why did you go from the steeple to running the, you know, the 3,200 or like the 5K on the track? No one's like, you know, I just couldn't really deal with wet feet. So like, I just wanted to stay on a dry event. So I went with a flat race. You know, people don't really say that. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but I do feel like I'm not going to mind when my feet are wet. I don't know how much other people are going to mind either. But it will feel somewhat normal to me. The thing that I'm concerned about is not having experience is what it exactly is like the pitch of what I'm landing in. So like how much are my ankles going to really hurt? So once I do that, like once, I'll be like, okay, that's what this is. I'll be fine. But the first time I'm a little bit nervous about it. Charles says, any plans to cut your hair? That's funny too, but I saw that one guy in your reel yesterday and it inspired me to continue growing. Yeah, Aldrin, he's fun. I just met him for the first time this weekend. He has fantastic hair as well. And not to say my hair is fantastic. His hair is long and as well, and his is fantastic. I feel like his is a good length. Mine is getting a little bit too long, and I do want to cut it. I was leaving the mustache and the long hair for this weekend because I was supposed to have like a guy's weekend, and I hadn't seen one of those guys in several years. So I felt like he's had a mustache, a really great like what do they call him? Push broom mustache. He had a really great one for a long time. I don't know if he still has one or not. And I wanted to be like, all right, I got one now too. And mine is a different style than his was, but I was gonna leave it for him. And then since that weekend got canceled, I don't know. Maybe I'll cut it soon. I was thinking I might shave. I'm getting very tired of the mustache, so I'm thinking about shaving the mustache first, and then we'll see if I still like long hair after I shave it. Maybe I'll have my mother-in-law trim it for me, or maybe I'll go get a haircut. But we'll see. It's yeah. I don't anticipate having a mustache for the triathlon. I don't think it's a thing. I feel like less hair is more in the triathlon. All right, let's eat some more cookies. They're good. Ortman says, Central Indiana trails are like a day-old Pilsner, flat and boring. Are they? But like where Ryan Clayton goes, it's not flat. I mean, he gets some like hills. I mean, I guess it's not mountains, but it's not nothing. Are you far from that, Phil? But I mean, I know what you mean though. Like in Chicago, there's not a lot of elevation change. All right. CB76 says, do locks of love. I'm thinking about it. Thomas here says, both have great you know, sometimes I feel like I was like a before and after. He was like the young version, and I'm like, yeah, here's the grizzled old version of Aldrin. But it was nice to meet him. Dr. Phone 1216 says, speaking of the steeple, did you see the Diamond League men's steeple had the official ring the bell on the second to last lap screwing up the runners? I did hear about that. And I felt like the memes that came out of that were really nice. Because they would just get like ugly face, ugly, like what do they call them? Melting clown faces. When people are struggling during a race and the photographer takes a bad photo, like an inadvertent bad photo, and people would just post screenshots of people's race faces and be like that feeling when you think it's the last lap, but there's still another lap to go after that. I thought that was super funny. Oh, hey, Thomas, since you're in here, do you can yeah, if you're yeah, if you're still here, yeah, you're still here. Let's see. Hopefully Kofuzi will come back. Yeah, I'll come back for sure. Definitely want to go back to Baltimore and visit again. But there was a question earlier. If someone were to like drop by the office, can they buy merch from you guys in the store? Because when I was there, I thought I saw price tags, like not on the merch, but like in each like pile, or like was that just to like let people know they could buy the stuff online, or how does that work? So I was thinking like I'm like it's not like you guys have someone like waiting downstairs. I would imagine like you guys are working either in the podcast booth or in the back in the film set or upstairs in the office. So I feel like how's that work? If you guys have an answer, you might not even have an answer for that yet. Maybe you're figuring it out. Frank says Ryan Clayton's home turf is pretty flat, but he works to find the dirt. Yeah, he sure does. He's always driving so far. You know what I feel like? I meant to say this to Ryan because he was on. I had him on, and then I was on his, and I meant to bring it up. We've talked on the channel before here in this live stream before about random sponsorships. Like, what is it? Was it Rebecca Mira has the cheese sponsor now? Is it like Cabot cheese? Because she was talking about how someone else has a cheese. Oh, because I think it's El Per St. Pierre has a cheese sponsor, and she was like, "That'd be great to have a cheese sponsor." And someone was like, "You want a cheese sponsor?" And so they are a sponsor now. And I love like random sponsors, but I think Ryan, as someone who's like reviewing a lot more things now, it's hard for reviewers to take a lot of sponsorships, I think, but he should totally have a cooler sponsor like Yeti or Arctic or Coleman because he's always working out of that cooler in the back of his car. I feel like he needs to have a cooler sponsor. That would be great. Like I would buy a Ryan Clayton, um, like what you could call it like the self-support aid station. I think that's like just something like that. Or just like the Ryan Clayton aid station. Boom. Put the big logo right on front, maybe a little bottle opener on the side of it. There you go. That's something I feel like you should do that. All right, here's the official answer. Hit us up on the gram if you're in town and want to come by and purchase some swag. All right, so there you go. You can definitely do that. I don't think you can just roll up, but let them know you're coming and they'll be able to help you out. So very cool. Very cool. Awesome. And yeah, Sean Mar says cheese sponsor. I need to keep running. I think a cheese sponsor is a great idea. Yeah. Oh, and he said they did sell a lot at the event and it's appointment only, and they sold a lot at the party. Very cool. Well, I'm glad you guys did. It was nice. It was such a good turnout. It was such a fun event. I met a lot of people that were there. A lot of people had come in from all over the place too. Like Jay Preza runs came in. He's from Virginia Beach, I think. And then Two Dads Running podcast guys came up, and they're from the Carolinas, I think. So people were coming from all over. Brandon's parents came down from New Jersey. I talked to them for a really long time. It was nice to meet them. So it was cool. It was super cool. It was cool to just see everybody and talk to people, new people and people that I know but never actually met. So it was a lot of fun. was a lot of fun. Mm. Yeah, Sean said, would an Igloo sponsorship be equivalent to a Crocs sponsorship? I feel like you could do Igloo too. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that that's still in the same. Yeah, I don't think it's quite like a Crocs, but I mean, but maybe I think some people love Crocs even in the running space, and some people don't. But yeah. Mm. Diamond says, "What's your skincare routine? You look glowing." I say just turn off the air conditioning and get a little bit hot, and then be too close to the camera where there's bright sun. So like if there's too much light, I will literally glow. So yeah, that's the secret. It's just to be sweaty, I guess. Ricky McLean says, "Hey, I live in Cabot, Vermont, where the cheese factory is." Oh, I didn't know it was named after it. Am I saying it right? I was saying it like it was all French, but you never know when the places are town names. I was amazed to learn that in Kentucky, Louisville is pronounced Louisville, where you don't say like the Louis bill, but Versailles is pronounced Versailles. They pronounce the two L's for some reason. I don't know if you guys knew that. But it's weird with town names. What was another town name? Oh, it's like when Seth always says like he's from Buena Vista. Like what? You mean Buena Vista? And he's like, no, only the tourists call it that. We call it Buena Vista. Isn't that? I forget. I can't even say how he says it. T Davis, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to meet you. T Davis was there. Says, yo, what's going on? I'm late, just getting off work. All right, cool. Very cool. Good to see you again. Yeah, Stevie76 says 12 can Yeti cooler for $2.99. Yeah, yeah. So one of my friends, his wife works at Yeti. She's I don't know what her title is. I don't know if she's in general counsel's office or what. She's a lawyer for Yeti. And um she was I'm like, what's it? I'm like, tell me more. Like I understand Yeti, I guess, but I'm like, but man, it's amazing how much product you guys move because it's not cheap stuff. And she's like, yeah, we just over-engineer the heck out of everything. And so it's just everything's just like intentionally super overbuilt. Oh, let me see, where'd it go? Yeah, my mug, coffee mug. This Yeti coffee mug, I think it was a little bit on the pricey side. It wasn't $299, but it will keep coffee hot for an insanely long time. And so that's one of the main reasons that I love it. So like it just works. You can get by with other stuff, but if you're buying something Yeti, it's amazingly good. I don't know if it's always worth it because it's really expensive, but it's definitely not going to be low quality, whatever you're getting. Yeah, Martha says correct about the Buena Vista in Colorado. There it is. All right, Sean says, all right, I love this game. Oh, awesome. Bellefontaine, Ohio is pronounced Bell Fountain. Lima, Ohio is pronounced Lima. Okay. Bellefontaine. Bell Fountain. Okay. Ohio. And then Lima? Not Lima? All right. All right. Bachram says South Carolina. Beaufort is Beaufort, and North Carolina Beaufort is Beaufort. You know what my one of my favorite city pronunciations is if you're Korean American and in New Jersey, the town Montgomery is called Montgomery. That's just how my parents say it. Maybe that's not a real thing, but that's and Burberry is Berry Berry. Sometimes, depending on how you say it. That's how my mom says it. Is my mom here? That's how my mom says it. But I love those kinds of things. All right. Aaron says, try to pronounce my area. City, Shirts, Shibolo, County Bexar. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a lot of stuff. And PJ says Maryville, Tennessee is Murrayville. That makes sense. A buddy of mine from college, he's from Greer, South Carolina. He wasn't born there, but I think that's where he spent most of his life growing up. Born in the Pittsburgh area, but moved down to Greer, South Carolina. He says, "You know how we say it down there?" I was like, "How do you say it?" He goes, "Just say grr," which I thought was funny. Carl Sangalang says, "Lincolnville, Illinois is Lincolnville." No way, no way. Ah. Matt McAdams says, you did some serious miles in Baltimore. 15 before the Believe in the Run. Yeah, well, I was gonna do 13, but I got lost. Well, I took wrong turns. Someone said in the last video where it's like, oh, don't keep saying you're getting lost. It makes us all anxious. And I'm never really lost. I've just made wrong turns. I always kind of know where I am. And so, so like this video, I was like, I won't talk about the missing turns part until maybe later. But I tried to put it in there saying like there were some closed roads, some detours, some fences I didn't know were going to be there. So I did. It ended up being a longer day, unintentionally. So I was going to do 13 or like 12 and a half, but it ended up getting a lot longer. And it says, if you want to mispronounce town names, try some Scottish ones. How about Avak pronounced? Oh, yeah, that's a whole next level. Oh. Martha says, so weird. English has so many silent consonants. Every ah word just for starters. And yet we pronounce all those silent letters in French names in the US. That's so funny. Yeah. Let's do one more. Adam says, in Colorado, Louisville is pronounced Louisville. And natives say Buena Vista. In 25 years here, I can't do that. It's Buena Vista for me. Then people are like, oh, you're not from here. Right. I mean, because I've lived in Chicago for, what is it? We moved there in 2004. So it's been 17 years now. But like, I have a little bit of a Chicago. There's a little bit of Chicago to my accent, I think. But I think people could tell, I'm not born and raised Chicago. I mean, even my kids are born and raised Chicago, but they don't talk like they're born and raised Chicago. So I feel like there's still like an otherness that's there. And Adam, you've been in Colorado for 25 years, but if you're still saying Buena Vista, they probably don't think that you're from there, huh? That's a weird feeling, isn't it? I'm pretty used to that kind of feeling, though. We moved around a lot, so. Um, all right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, on your phone, 1216 says, the New England's ones always confuse me, like Worcester. Yeah, that's the one that I can't say very well either. All right. We need a t-shirt with a phonetic representation of Kofuzi. You know what's funny is a lot of people will call me Kofuzi because if you put it into to Siri, that's how Siri reads it. That's what I think is happening. So like when I have my Apple Music playlist, the Kofuzi Run Club, I think it's public. I think you guys can search for it. I'll put a link to it in the description. Either way, and when I'm running, I could double tap on my earbud if I'm listening to a song that I like, and it's on like playing like a today's hits kind of like auto generated playlist or something, and I hear a song that I like. I'll double tap and say add track to add track to playlist Kofuzi Run Club. I think that's like the syntax you need to use, and then it takes a second, then it goes, all right, I've added track whatever the track name is. I've added track so it's such and such to Kofuzi, like with the few, like the not foo, but the few, like the Kofuzi Run Club playlist. And I'm like, Siri, how long have we known each other? You still pronouncing my name wrong? That's insulting. Martha says Siri, another whole set of funny things. Our GPS, probably programmed like Siri, pronounces Gyersville, California, like Geezerville. That's so funny. Makes me feel right now. That's so that's so funny. But what company was it? Was it TomTom that you could buy not skins, but you could buy celebrity voices? Like there was a Snoop voice. There was like I thought there was a Kevin Hart voice as well. Or was it Samuel L. Jackson? Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different voices that you could buy. I never had that GPS. But that always thought was so funny. Yeah, Frank says Ed says Puma for Puma. Yeah, so I think that a lot of the people in the UK, the FUZI comes out. They think they want to put a Y in there. So that's something that I think maybe that's what it is. Shannon says, I had Kofuzi once, and both of my kids are not overpronunciate Kofuzi. Oh, Aaron said, yeah, yes, he had the Tom Tom, but he had Mr. T as the Tom. I think it sets, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like, I pity the fool who misses this next left turn, or something like that, right? That's so funny. All right, Cedric Gonzalez says, ran my first 8K yesterday, and I would say your videos have been an inspiration. Cheers from Cali. Awesome, Cedric. Congratulations on running that first 8K. Hope you had a really great time out there. And thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the community and coming to the live stream. Oh, I got a buzz on the watch. Sorry. Stevie76 says, recalculating, fool. Oh man. I feel like someone that still has that needs to make a video of like driving in 2021 with Mr. T Tom Tom. Like that needs to be like, I think that would, you know, would be great. Here's the great video. See, this is why I feel like I need to be a writer for like a game show or like a night, like a late night talk show. Except I don't stay up late, so I couldn't handle the schedule. Like have like an Uber driver have a camera, like you know, like cash cab style camera on the passengers, but have the Uber have a Mr. T Tom Tom and give people directions. I just feel like that'd be a really funny video, especially because I feel like some younger people might not get it. They'd be like, what is going on with your GPS, man? Shannon says, I'd love a Siri voice. That's David Goggins. You know what they need? They need to do like, there was like the Nike run, like the guided run with Eliud Kipchoge, and my coach Robin, I think, did one as well of Windrunners at Edge Athlete Lounge. She did a guided run for the Nike Run Club app. Like if David Goggins did a Nike Run Club, like, oh, can you imagine? It would have so many profanities in it, so I don't think they would ever do that. But yeah, it would be like 30 minutes in. It's been 30 minutes. You've been running a long time. Time to take a gel, and while you're at it, open a can of whoop ass. Like I just feel like that would be like what he would say, right? I just think that'd be pretty amazing to have like a guided David Goggins run. That'd be intense. No. Tom Zero says, who's gonna carry the boats? Lead from the front. I just think that'd be amazing. Yeah, you got, who's taking turns leading this run group? You got to lead from the front. That's how you do it. And Dr. Funk says, does anybody else just start cracking up and watching David Goggins Instagram posts? I laugh because he's almost like a caricature of himself sometimes, but I'm also extremely inspired at the same time. So it's a very confusing experience for me to watch Goggins, just because he's so intimidating. And he's so intense, and I don't know how you get intensity like that to come through a phone, but it does, and I love it. But it's also like, if I were doing a David Goggins impression, it'd be exactly just literally what he's saying. It'd be like when on Saturday Night Live they would do like Trump impressions, and they didn't have to like they just would use his actual words. They didn't have to make him up saying weird things. They would just use his actual words. It'd just be like that. It's funny, but it's also true. Yeah. Thomas says, I don't laugh. I feel like he could hear me. Oh my goodness. That is so funny. Awesome. All right, let's do one more and then I gotta get going for today. Edgar G has a running question. Says, hey, what racing shoe you recommend for 10K to marathon distance? That's a pretty wide range, because I feel like if you're doing like 5K to half marathon, my favorite shoe is probably the Endorphin Pro. But if we're gonna go 10K to marathon, my favorite shoe probably is the Adios Pro. Now, I haven't tried the Adios Pro 2 yet. I left that back in Chicago. I'm not doing like marathon like workouts yet, so I'm gonna kind of save that until I really need it. But I'd probably go with the Adios Pro in that situation from 10K to marathon. I think that's a good one. All right. I'm gonna leave it there for today, guys. It was great to see you guys again. I think that I think the paid version of this app is not that expensive. So I think I might do it, because this is a lot easier for me to work with than kind of like tapping all the sides on my phone. I got to figure out the lighting a little bit better, but I think it's also better than using like the webcam that would be on the camera. So we'll go with this. All right, remember tomorrow we're gonna move to 2 o'clock, and I'll put a reminder out on YouTube in a post to remind you guys. But we'll 2 o'clock for the live stream. We'll do a trivia. We'll do a trivia Tuesday tomorrow. So I don't know what it's gonna be about. It might, it's probably gonna be about weirdly pronounced cities, but we've already done so many good ones today. So I'll think of something. We'll do some trivia tomorrow, 2 p.m., an hour later than normal, 2 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully I'll see you then. And tomorrow's video, I think, is going to be about the 1080 version 11 versus the Fresh Fillmore version 3. If I can get out for a run. We'll see if the weather holds up, but that might be the video for tomorrow. All right. Until I see you guys again, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.